What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. Hope you guys are all having a great week so far. It's currently Sunday, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon right now. I'm having a great weekend. I hope you guys did as well. I keep forgetting that, and this video is going up on Wednesday. Anyways, I got back from California a few days ago, checking on that property. You guys probably watched that video most recently. But yeah, today's video is actually going to be an extension of my Q&A that I did on my Instagram. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, I highly suggest it. I post on there every single day. You guys can stay so much more up to date, and then my TikTok as well. That information will be down below. I hope this video is able to help you guys out, for those of you guys that are just curious about Airbnbs, and for those of you guys that are just actually interested in getting involved in Airbnb. So we have 10 to 11 questions I want to get through here. I want to try to keep this video around 10 minutes, so we're just going to jump right into it. Quick insight on my Airbnb. I launched it in February of 2022. I basically did about $120,000 of renovations on it. I'm going to talk about the furnishing on it. I bought it for $358,000. Right now, the value of it, I would say, is about $550,000. That's after I dumped about $100K into it, though, so keep that in mind. Yes, I do own it. I am not arbitraging it. I do not rent it and then sublease it out or sub-rent it out. I own this property. It's in a non-HOA community, all that kind of stuff. It's in Chandler, Arizona, 1980 build. So with that out of the way, we're just going to get into these questions right here. First question that I didn't answer on my Instagram: how do you handle cleaning between rentals? So I have a cleaning lady and her friend that actually were doing, they still do all of our flips. Once we're done renovating them, they go in there and they clean it. So I'm actually not involved in the cleaning whatsoever. I literally send her a chart at the beginning of every single month, and I'm like, here are the dates right now. If anything changes, I'll be sure to let you know. My biggest stress is I forget to update her on if I get a new booking or if someone cancels or whatnot. But for the most part, it's been really streamlined. She's been really good. She's been on top of it. I do pay her a little bit extra on Sundays because it's usually her day off. And honestly, on Sundays, she usually brings her entire family over and they swim at the pool. They hang out while she's cleaning it. So it's kind of like a little family day for them. But I pay her $220 on Sunday, and then I pay her $160 the other 6 days of the week. I charge my Airbnb client or my guests $180. I do not have them do absolutely anything. I do not have them even take towels or pile them up, because if I'm charging them a cleaning fee, I don't expect them to actually clean up after themselves, for the most part, obviously. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So I do lose money on Sundays whenever I turn over on a Sunday, but then I make a little bit of money the rest of the days, and I'm actually usually either spot on or a little bit negative every single month on what I charge to what I actually pay my cleaning ladies. And it's really good for her because I've been paying her about $1,800 a month. Second question: what is the average cost to furnish? So I can only speak from my Airbnb, but I paid basically $23,000 for that entire house. And then I also bought the TV on my own, and I bought like the beds on my own. So it ended up being like $26,000 to furnish this house. Yes, I probably could have done it for $15,000, but I don't know. It's something that I learned. I may try to do it myself next time, but this is actually our stager that we use at all of our flip properties. So I was really familiar with her work and I trusted her, and I think she did a good job. Yes, it was pretty expensive for an 1,800 square foot house, but it's also really nice furniture where I'm not going to have anything, hopefully not going to have a lot of stuff break. Like I told her, and she knew it was an Airbnb. I was like, I need really sturdy stuff. So everything in there was about $25,000 to $26,000. How often do you personally check in on the Airbnb versus property management? So that's a good question. I actually do not have a property manager, and I will suggest from my personal standpoint, I would same with long-term rentals. I get people that ask this all the time. They're like, I don't know who's going to manage my property. I have 6 properties right now, and I manage every single one of those on my own, and it does not take me more than 2 hours the entire month to do so. For the most part, they're pretty self-efficient if you set them up in the right way. So don't let that be a barrier of entry into not only short-term but long-term rentals as well. I always suggest try it out without a manager, and then if it does become too stressful, then you can add management in there, but they're going to take 20 to 25% off the top on a short-term rental, and they're usually going to take anywhere from 6 to 10% off the top on long-term rentals. And they don't really, I've had really bad experiences with clients who have property managers on the long-term side. They really are just the middleman. Like, you're still paying for a handyman to go over there if something's wrong, but you're just not going to get involved with it. So yes, some people love them. Some people, I personally try to do it on my own, and I still am able to. They'd never check on them, and me going over there to check on them maybe every 2 weeks. I usually just have my cleaning lady update me if there's anything that I need to know, but for the most part, it's been pretty streamlined. I also have an assistant that goes over there every once in a while too and checks on it, so I don't really go over there too often. I was over there last week, literally just hanging out by the pool with some friends. We went over and barbecued. Most rewarding review so far. So this is actually where I want to minimize myself right here, and I didn't really pinpoint a specific review here. This is the reviews that I've gotten the last week, or the last 4 reviews, I guess I can say. So you guys can have a look at this. My average review right now is I think 4.98 at like 26 reviews. I will have one 1-star review coming in. I had a guest that I am pretty sure just wanted a free stay. They stayed the night, and then next thing you know, they're like, we can work this out. I'm going to give you a bad review, and I'm going to dispute to my bank to get every single bit back unless you refund me. And I was like, okay, you can go ahead and do that. So I know for a fact I'm getting a 1-star review from just someone that just wanted a free stay. It's unfortunate. It's a whole nother video that I can talk about if you guys want to go into it, but there's certain things I look for now when I'm accepting guests, and it's because of those reasons, but I'm not going to go into it in this video. We're already at 7 minutes. So yeah, you guys just kind of have a look at that. Pause it if you want to. I'm not going to spend too much time on showing you guys these reviews right here. Airbnb seems like such a headache. Do you have to deal with a lot of issues? So yes, it is stressful, but anything that is rewarding in life, I feel like at some certain point, it's going to be stressful. If you just avoid every stressful or bad moment in your life, I don't think you're going to like really push the boundaries and step outside of your comfort zone. I don't think she meant this comment in a negative way, like, oh, like it's too much work, I don't want to do it. But she's really genuine, like, oh, it does seem like a headache. Do you have to deal with a lot of issues? Yes and no. A lot of the issues I'm dealing with are just issues with the overall house because I never lived there. I fully renovated it. So it's stuff like the pool light went out, which I probably should have replaced before I even did an Airbnb, but I wasn't aware of it. So there's like stuff like that that's a little stressful, but I'm hoping it works itself out later down the road, and hopefully everything will be really self-efficient shortly. But yes, out of the 6 properties, this is by far the most hands-on and stressful, I would say. Yes, it's not a lot of hourly labor, but it's more so like the constant thought of having to be on top of everything. Oh, this is a good one. Should I move back in with my parents and rent out the front part of my duplex? So the reason why I put this question in there is because I think this question is relative to where you are in your life. Like, yes, you would probably have a successful short-term rental if you did move back in with your parents and you were able to rent out that front room as an Airbnb. It may not be a luxurious Airbnb, but there's so many Airbnbs in Arizona even that people are renting out per room because people just need to stay there. They need like a 1, 2, 3 month stay. So from a standpoint, if you're just trying to maximize capital right now, yes, but if you're at a part of your life where you're not trying to squeeze out every single dollar out of every single possible situation and you don't want to move back in with your parents, then maybe it's not worth it. But if you're in the timeline of your life where you're like grinding it out and trying to do every single possible thing to help yourself grow, I think you should. There's always going to be a time in someone's life where you're just constantly grinding, being as frugal as possible, trying to maximize gains as much as possible from a monetary aspect. Where do you plan on having your next Airbnb? I actually don't have any plans right now. I want to see how this one actually goes throughout the entire year. There's a lot of fluctuation, so I don't want to jump the gun too early. And I just bought my 6th rental property. I'm not in any rush to invest in more real estate right now. I need to diversify a little bit more. What's the average days it rents each month? So this is where I'm going to minimize myself now, and we're going to go over here. So these are just kind of a look at my last couple months. I'm going to kind of cruise through it a little bit faster. You guys can pause if you want. This is February. This is July, which is coming up. July had, like, a lot of these summer months actually have a lot more longer stays, which is cool, less turnover. And then this was March. This was my best month. I had one freaking day back there that was not booked out. This is June. May's looking rough. I actually have my parents right here. They're coming. I'm super excited for them to come. If you guys are watching this video, I'm excited to hang out with you guys. And then this is where I had that week-long cancellation, like right over here. So unfortunately, I think it was like the 7th through the 12th that they were supposed to stay, and I couldn't get all those days booked out. So that's why it's looking a little empty right here. But this is by far the worst month I've ever had. And then I think that's everything. So yeah, I've had pretty good occupancy, I would say, for the most part, and I've been really content with that. Do you give rock bottom prices on days it doesn't book out? Yes and no. I don't want to do that to my booking. Like, I want to have some sort of like standard to where if someone ever were to book my place, they don't wait for me to drop my rates. Yes, it makes sense if there's like a day or two, like within the next couple of days, to drop your rate a little bit, but I also want to hold myself to a certain standard, so I don't drop it too much. You guys can see on some of those ones I showed you, I did have lower prices. The best part about having a short-term rental, this is my favorite question. Honestly, the best part is obviously not necessarily like besides the monetary aspect, the cash flow on it. Having a house where I can literally block out a weekend and throw a party there, have my parents fly in, for example, and have them, I give them a free place to stay that's actually really luxurious. If I want to fly someone in, for example, for the weekend, I can literally give them a free place to stay, save them $500-600, and it's an awesome feeling. And people don't really think about that as like a benefit to an Airbnb. Some people just think strictly as a monetary aspect, but there's so much more to it. With long-term rentals, you never really have the opportunity to do that because it's constantly rented throughout the year. So that's like one of the biggest upsides for sure. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do appreciate it. We are wrapping it up at 13.5 minutes here. You guys can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Let me know if you guys have any questions down below. Please drop a like. I do appreciate it.